Moving, keep my head up when I act. Head up, that's a fact. Never looking back. I'ma keep myself on track. Keep my head up, staying strong. Always moving on. Feel I don't belong. Tell my thoughts to move along. Push myself to be the best. Die with no regrets.
Hey guys, I'm working the part. Psych. We're really doing this again. You guys know that 58.9% of you aren't subscribed. Like, what's going on? It's so easy. And look, here's a clip right now if you don't believe me. Anyway, there's going to be a clip the entire part probably. But anyway, you guys are going to have 5 seconds to like, subscribe, and comment down below, done it. If you comment down below, like, subscribe in that 5 seconds, or you have bad luck for the rest of your life. Other than that, I hope you guys do enjoy the video, and yeah, let's get into it. Hey guys, I'm working the part 2 of where Deku was born as a demigod. Last time we left off, you guys really enjoyed this Whatif. You smashed the like goal. So the next one's going to be 30 likes, because I know you guys had over 500 on the last one. But I'm going to keep on moving slow. Yeah, so not that, yeah, 35 likes. Should I go? Yeah, I'll go to 35 likes for the next part. And yeah, last time we left off, Deku met Zeus, his father, for the first time, and they had their little reunion, etc. And Zeus told him he needs to train, and they did, but I didn't tell you what they trained on. And then we go to the entrance exam. They walk in. Deku slips, and before Ruka gets a chance to catch him, he catches himself on his hands, pushes up, and then gets back on his feet. Uraraka's shocked, and Baka does think, stupid Deku. But doesn't say anything to him because he's kind of scared. Considering that when they were kids, Deku knocked him into a wall. And that's just when the awakening is quiet, and that was, now that Deku's had years to train it, he also goes a bit scared of what he could do. Deku goes into the assembly, and he doesn't really mutter as much, but he does it a little bit. And Leader tells him to shut up, and Deku just gives him a death stare, which annoys Leader a bit. And Deku says, "Don't tell me to shut up, as you're going to scream out, disrupting everybody when only you could hear me mumbling." And Leader just scowls a bit, and he says, that's not how you meant to talk if you want to be a hero. And Deku says, "You don't want to talk, heroes shouldn't just scream out, shut up to people." And Leader sits down, angry. And then we go out to the field, and instead of Deku going over to talk to Uraraka, Uraraka goes over to him, and Leader stops and says you shouldn't try to disturb him, and Deku tells him to get out of his way. She can talk to him if she wants to. And Leader just scowls yet again and goes on walking. Time begins, and Deku zooms past even Leader and starts destroying robots. He decides to keep his power at a 5% mark, so it doesn't start causing shockwaves, etc. But that's still stronger than 50% of 1/4. And Deku's easy to destroy robots. But then the robots slowly start getting bigger. Deku's getting bored of just punches. He holds out his hand, and black lightning appears. He grabs it, it molds into a spear. Then it finally takes its real form. And this was a gift from his grandfather, at least that's what Zeus said. It's not a spear, I mean a scythe. And Deku swipes it once and destroys 10 robots with just the one slash of it. And Deku starts spinning it around. He's had a lot of time to practice with this. Everyone's shocked, thinking, what is its quirk? Is he super strong, or can he summon weapons? And Deku disappears on the flash and starts slicing up. Then he jumps back a bit and puts his hand in the air and slices down, sending a wave of a huge slash of lightning, cutting through multiple things and electrifying the ground and frying the inside of the other robots. And Deku's quite enjoying this. And Zeus is watching the fight and he's proud. Deku unsummons the spear and it just disappears. And that's when the final point robot appears, and it's on top, nearly about to crush Uraraka. Deku's hair spikes up. He's gone into his demigod form. which we know is the rainbow, like electricity surrounding him, his hair going flashing rainbow colours. And he jumps up and kicks it so hard, and it flies back, and Deku isn't gone. He holds out his fist as the robot got back up. As Deku didn't hit as hard as he did in the original, he didn't expect he needed to. He holds out his fist and yells, "Hakai!" And the robot starts disintegrating. Deku lands and helps Uraraka up, and he sees her legs twisted. Like, instead of being sprained, it was actually broken this time. And Deku put his finger on Uraraka's leg, and a bit of lightning passed through it, healing it. And she was shocked. Everyone was still confused what his quirk was. Did he have healing? Did he have a disintegration type quirk? Or was he super strong? Could he summon weapons? Deku doesn't tell them. He just keeps on destroying robots until the time goes up. And when Ido tries asking what his quirk is, Deku says, "Until you want to talk to me, if you want to talk to me, I expect an apology first," and carries on walking. And Deku runs up to her and he says, "Oh, I'm sorry." And Deku says, "Not to me, to that girl over there. You was really rude to her. I don't think you realised it." I'll give you the conversation that he said to Uraraka when he tried talking. He said to Uraraka, "Don't go over and talk to him. If he's trying to be a hero, you're disrupting it. Are you trying to destroy his dreams? That's not very hero-like of you, that's more villain-like." And Ida's like, "Oh yeah," and Deku said, "You basically called her a villain and said she was trying to crush my dreams." And Deku walked off and Ida apologised to Uraraka. In the next few weeks, Deku learned how to talk to Zeus through like mind. But he hasn't told his mum yet. And then Deku gets his acceptance letter. He gets told he got the best score that's ever been able to get at UA. He even beat All Might's score. So he was number 1 out of all the people that entered. And that he should be proud. He tells his mum and his proud and his mum was really happy as well. Also, his mum isn't overweight in this version and she isn't depressed about Deku. So she looks the same as she did in the original. And then he tells Zeus and he says, "Ah, my boy, I'm so proud. Anyway, you need to meet me, come to the mountain." And Deku goes to the mountain. Sorry about the ding. Okay, I'm gonna mute my iPad. Oh, it stopped, I'm not gonna mute it yet. He goes to the mountains, and when he gets there, Zeus says,
"Oh my boy, I need to show you the realm of the gods, your true home, where you belong."
Deku's excited. He says, "What? The realm of the gods? Okay, how am I meant to get there, father?" Zeus says,
"It's in your power. Any demigod, any person has a part of God in him, and open the portal to the Olympus. You just need to have the motivation to."
Deku says, "Okay," and he puts his hands out. And instead of letting Zeus guide him, he does it himself. His hair spikes up, electricity surrounds him. Zeus gets really excited when Deku enters his form, as it reminds him of himself. And some power starts generating his hand, and then he shoots a lightning bolt that was yet again rainbow coloured. And instead of just turning straight, it hit a few feet in front of Deku and split the wall open, and Deku walked through. He started walking on clouds. He thought he was in the sky, and Zeus was behind him. He said, "This is your true home, my son." And Deku's looking around. He's walking along, and all the other gods come meet him. And it's like, "So you must be the famous Usuka Midoriya Zeus was telling us about." I still don't understand why Zeus let you keep your mother's name, your mortal mother. But since you're our king's son, you have our full respect on our service. But then there was someone else in the background who wasn't happy about it. And he runs through and says, "Ugh, who let this demigod into Olympus? thought we weren't allowed to see our children. And so he said, we lifted that rule long ago, why are you still on it? And I'm not mentioning the god's name yet, and the god says, well, I think we should have kept the rule. But she says, well, we didn't, so show respect. And the god said, I won't show respect to your son shows he's worthy by causing a bit of damage to it. And the god summons out his god weapon, which is a long sword, and shrinks down to Deku's size. So he's trying to stop in the fight, but Deku says, no, I think none of them really respect me, I'm gonna have to prove a point. They go to the arena, and it starts. The god dives towards Deku, but even without activating his demigod form, Deku dodges. The god's impressed, but they all say, why hasn't he activated his power yet? So he smiles and says he don't really need to. He jumps back, and the god flies towards him. That's when a rainbow of lightning appears in his hand and he shoots it. The god barely deflects it and he gets shot back. He thinks that lightning was powerful. Even took on Zeus's lightning, it didn't feel that strong. He must have been going full, as Zeus would hold back with his lightning. And then Deku's hair spikes up. It goes rainbow and he gets surrounded by rainbow light, and all the other gods are impressed. That's the legendary lightning berserker form that even Zeus hasn't been able to access yet. It says only the Titans are able to use that form. God said, summon your weapon. Deku puts his hands out and the black and red lightning appears. He spins it around, shaping it into a scythe. Everyone thinks, that's the evil Titan's scythe. And Deku says, you ready? He takes in a deep breath and bounces. He overhears behind the other god, and the other god's hand slices off. He screams out in pain. Deku unsummons his scythe and goes behind the god and kicks him in the back, bounces him around, and with a stronger punch hits him dead on in the face. The only thing that can injure the other god is the weapons, which is the bronze material, and the other god's powers. And it keeps on. Deku starts belittling the god, saying, you should have just trusted me. And he jumps up as the god lays on the floor, and he yells out, arc! And a huge arc of lightning comes down and strikes the god, causing serious injuries. The other god starts applauding as the one who was injured gets taken away to the infirmary. So he's just very proud of his son. He's a demigod, but he took down a full-fledged god. And that's no easy feat. And Deku was really happy he could please his father. But then his father says, well, you're home now, my son. No need to even try to get into that hero academy when you're staying here. Deku freezes and said, what? So I says, oh, you are staying here, right? This is your home, where a true god should be. And Deku says, but I'm not a true god, I'm half mortal, as you said. Source looks away a bit embarrassed, and Deku wonders why he's so flustered. And he wants to look into it, but he doesn't. And Deku says, I am a fool, only a demigod, right? And Sue says, yeah, you're only a demigod. I hope you guys like the hint. And Deku says, well, but sorry, it's always been my dream to get into UA before I even knew about it. I was a demigod. So can you please let me go to UA and become a hero for a bit? And then I'll come here. I'll always come here for visits. And Sue says, fine. Zeus isn't the mean father he is in all the depictions. He actually really loves Deku, which is unusual for his children. And Zeus tells him that it's fine for Deku to stay in a human world. Then Deku gets all happy and returns home. The next day he goes into UA, and everyone rushes over and asks what his quirk is. Deku said that's not really important right now, and we should just focus on trying to become good heroes. That's when Azawa sits up and says, it took you 5 seconds to get into your seats. And Deku disappears in a rainbow flash and appears in the seats and says, I don't know what you're talking about. Azawa smiles a bit and says, this kid's gonna be a hassle. And then he explains their fitness test after explaining that there's no point in going to the assembly. They get there and Azawa says, whoever comes last place is getting expelled. But then he shivers a little bit. The Solo's invisible girl. Then they does the ball through. Zawa calls up Deku, telling he was the one who got the highest score ever at UA. And he tells Deku to throw the ball. Deku goes into his lightning form. And Zawa's like, powerful. But why are you holding back? He says it out loud. I mean, he's not in his full lightning form. His lightning is only blue right now. And Deku says, fan. His lightning turns rainbow and his hair sticks up and starts flashing rainbow colours. Now Azawa's impressed. Deku's never fully and really unleashed his power before, and he starts unleashing a bit of his godly power. And the ground starts shaking. Eraserhead's okay, not that much, and Deku says, I'm going full out. He doesn't really go full out, but he just stops until the building starts shaking a bit and he chucks the ball. It breaks through the atmosphere and Deku gets infinite. Bakugo's a bit scared. If Deku was that strong and he unleashed his full power, that kick when he got as a child could have killed him. And then everyone's impressed. Deku gets first place in everything. And then it goes for the high jump. Deku does the high jump and he appears in the air. Then he realises he's still skyrocketing up. He's like, what's happening? But then all of a sudden he stops rising and he starts falling down. Everyone's scared for Deku except for Deku, who just lands normally. This is when Azawa goes to erase Deku's quirk. He tells Deku to throw the ball again. He goes to erase Deku's quirk but he doesn't and he's confused. What is this? As Deku doesn't have a quirk. Deku was a full-fledged demigod. So Deku didn't even become... Deku's actually quirkless. But this is what confused the doctors. But they just gave him the quirk demigod as Deku wished. Anyway guys, I hope you did enjoy. If you did, make sure you hit the like goal, share with your friends and family, subscribe. We're already halfway to 6k. Other than that, I hope you guys did enjoy and become a member down below. It will mean a lot to me. Peace out guys, bye.